telling you be a justified rat or a snitch.
You speak the truth. If I'm talking correctly, right? Me being careless and get you locked up, me be careless and get you locked up, and then you end up telling on me, where it gets ugly. Are you justified to tell on me back?
You can never be justified on telling on your brother. For me, that's just not.
So Gotti didn't mean to snitch. Those tapes, and they just heard from Gotti running his mouth, brought Sammy the Bull in. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right?
Which has happened in many cases.
That's not a form of, it's not snitching.
Yeah.
It's not.
But what you did was.
So there's no justification for that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't come play me some tapes of my man my wife, or you know what I'm saying, doing something. Now I gotta snitch.
Yeah.
Now I gotta tell it, this bastard.
Yeah.
No, that's not the rules we grew up on. That's not what we know.
You had to
handle your business, nigga.
Yeah, handle your business.
If something if they violate that way, you gotta handle that in that other way. And then, but going to tell the people and bringing charges on, no, we don't. It was
almost an era where they say, yo, I'm telling you, baby, if you do this, you can get right out.
No, you can Sammy the Bull was
Sammy the Bull.
You said where it started.
What year would you say that? That's 87, 88?
Nah, Sammy the Bull that would have been, I think, early 90s. What year was Sammy the Bull locked up, indicted? 2000. 2000? But no, that was
That's the latest one. That's the newest one.
When was Sammy the Bull indicted with John Gotti? 1990.
Okay.
December 11th, 1990.
1990.
Now, perfect. What I'm saying is get into it now.
So what year Rockefeller Laws came in?
94, wasn't it?
So that was the boom, though. That's what clogged up.
What year was Rockefeller Laws? It's saying 73, but that's not.
No, that's not it. What is exactly was the Rockefeller crack laws or
what year was the new Rockefeller drug laws?
That was Reaganomics, or that wasn't Reaganomics? That was who? Mandatory minimums. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. No, they keep saying 73.
88, 89. The crack laws, it has to be in those eras. It has to be. It's the crack laws. It has to be.
What year was the crack laws made with the mandatory minimums? So because Sammy the Bull, as I was saying, 1986. 1986.
All right then, so that's the surge.
So yeah.
That's the surge.
But
even though, Gotti, I mean, what you said is correct.
Yes. So reason why I say the Bull is because our community respected him. Respected those mob motherfuckers.
True. Yeah.
So we didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on Sammy the Bull supposed to be a notorious hitman, and he's snitching. You know what I'm saying? Then, right after that, Fat Cat, Alpo, that's when we start seeing these, the
mandatory death, the surge in the system,
that we really
because of the time that they was getting, it led to niggas like, I can't do that.
Exactly. No, that's what it was.
I can't do that.
That's what it was. We saw Fat Cat, we saw Alpo, then later on we saw Leon from my area. Yeah. We start seeing all these dudes just start, and then it went into hip hop.
Yeah.
And that was when you could even think about it, because
Frank Lucas and them wasn't under the same guidelines though.
What you mean?
With the mandatory minimums, if they ain't come into 80-something, right?
Yeah.
How did Frank Lucas and all of the rest of the other major people end up with life sentences? You understand? And they ain't have mandatory minimum with all of... Because crack wasn't involved, that's why. I don't know, maybe, I'm just trying to figure out why... how they ended up with life, and they didn't have those implemented laws anyway, because it wasn't crack.
Overall,
the crack that made them panic, and it made a
crack changed the game.
It changed the game.
Yeah, okay, crack changed the game,
and it flowed the system, and the niggas start seeing the years, because that's when when I came in the game with the OG telling me like, yo, listen, you might want to serve that the way it is instead of putting it in that pot.
Absolutely.
Once he told me that, like, yo, what was the difference? That honestly, that's what made my charge go up. Like, yo, bro, listen, this 24 like it is. You want it like this, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's gonna be damn near 28 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Even though what you was saying to yourself, I can make the ovis, I'm keeping the ovis on it and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna cook that 1,000 up, and it's gonna be 1,400, 1,300, and it's still gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? But you still charge them. I'm gonna charge you extra, but after a while, you like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm not. You're gonna have to buy it the way it is and do it. You let it dance yourself. You know what I mean? Because the time, we knew the time difference. But like I said, I think that was the surge of the snitching because these niggas started to realize that, nah, that's too much time.
Absolutely, and I think Then once we saw it in our community, made it all right with the rappers, and once the rappers did it,
and once that happened, your boy got involved, and when they got your boy, they seen a bigger vision.
Yeah, like you said, not to get back on the T.I. thing, but that was big.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
That was a wake up.
I knew the game was kind of over there because I'm like,
because we was told money couldn't help us.
Yes, everybody
could not help us.
I just fought that same charge and I didn't have half, and they told me I was never coming out. They said, we take 2 of these put together. That's 25 years mandatory, just 2.
Yo.
And I'm seeing, my dude.
Yo,
do you know in the federal system, a silencer and a firearm
once that
to convict a felon, how much time that is?
That opened the game.
Do y'all even know? Like I'm saying, just one, not an arsenal, not no army shit.
Yeah, I know.
If they get you with a silencer,
yes,
and a gun,
yes.
They are talking about not letting your black ass out if you are a felon.
Yes, you started. I know his little
feds picked you up there. They told 25 years for this.
That nigga said that's what it won't be. You know, we could not understand that when that happened, bro.
No, that did. There's no offense.
That's when I know
to nobody. But no, I didn't. Yeah, that was when I saw that. I was like.